Hi, this is Julie at Love's Beginning with a blog post called Remove Your Hands and Make Demands. This is the post I was originally receiving yesterday when life called me away and either my daughters or the computer acting on its own, which it does sometimes, published the post before I wrote it. And as I was writing it, I noticed one of the things I was told or I interpreted rhymed, and I was just tickled by that. So then, it was originally called Reset Please, but I changed the title to Remove Your Hands and Make Demands, just because that felt like the new title. So here it is. Today we invite you to notice how the separate identity is tied up with seeing a world of separate objects and separate people, a world with individual volition. The idea of separate identity is inextricably caught up with the idea of physical cause and effect. The belief in physical cause and effect produces the sense of individual threat. Notice how identifying as a separate character, subject to physical cause and effect, produces a storyline where some characters are labeled fortunate and some unfortunate. Identifying as a character leaves you feeling that you must struggle to avoid unfortunate consequences. Identifying as a separate character leaves you in a state of instability, but there is a state of utter stability always available to you. Think for a moment of the sense of individual volition being absent or not real. Does anything kick up there internally? Is there any fight or resistance there? To hang on to one sense of individual volition is to hang on to guilt. To hang on to guilt is to hang on to separate identification. To hang on to separate identification is to hang on to a sense of fundamental instability. To hang on to a sense of fundamental instability is to deny who you are. This is the purpose for which time was made. Time was made by you in thought in order to provide an experience of successive moments in which you deny who you are. As you seem to walk around today, notice any stressful thoughts, and then notice what you are believing is separate. Are you believing the characters are separate? Are you believing the characters are defective in any way? Are you believing in a physical cause and effect that you must struggle against? Are you believing in a physical cause and effect that puts the well-being of characters at risk? When you notice what you believe, you can stop and ask for correction. Soon you will notice that nothing the world can offer you, no sweet, no excitement, no lure, can compare with being assisted out of your own limiting beliefs. Make the connection between the separate identities, the belief in the characters, the belief in physical cause and effect, and the stressful thoughts. You cannot have a stressful thought without a prior belief in separate characters subject to a world of physical cause and effect. Are you bold enough to offer up this belief in separate characters with individual volition? If we hold a tray out, will you place this belief upon it and take your hands off it? Take a moment to place this belief on the tray. Remove your hands. Now go ahead and make demands of us. Show me what is real today. I want to know what is real. Because the ego needs a belief in guilt to keep it going, it will kick up against questioning this idea of separate identity. For smooth function, ego needs the belief and guilt in separate identity to stay strong. You will not believe the thoughts ego sends without the foundational belief. So ask to see what is real. Demand it of us. We are happy to comply. When you notice that your belief in physical cause and effect is strong or disturbing, call upon us again. There we are with our tray. Be bold enough to place the whole belief in physical cause and effect upon the tray. Remove your hands. Make demands. Show me what is real. I want to know what is real. We are happy to assist you in experiencing the relief and ease that comes from surrendering the false. Stressful thoughts sustain the experience of separateness, but only as long as you believe them. Stressful thoughts are fundamentally tied to the belief in separate identity, and therefore separate value, and physical cause and effect. You have no need of stressful thoughts. Ego would tell you that belief in stressful thoughts keep a character safe. See through this lie. What you are is safety itself. You are and always have been safe. See through the story of the character that ego feeds you. Stop valuing the story of the character. Value what is real. We stand by all of you perpetually, always ready with our trays. Give us what you don't need. Make demands. Ask to see what is real instead. It is our never-ending delight to show you. And before I go, I feel a little nudge to relate a personal story. I looked out the window the other day, and there was a boy walking in front of our house. And the thought came, wouldn't it be funny if he knocked on my door? And then the next thing I heard, he was knocking on my door. And I opened the door, and all he said to me, with kind of a sheepish look on his face, was, "I'm lost." So he came in, and I let him use my phone to figure out, to orient himself. And he figured out that he was going the right direction, and he was close to where he was going, and everything was good. So I didn't really get the significance of that somehow until I was reading this back to make the recording, that's a nice reflection for us there, that we are headed in the right direction, and we're very close to our destination. And surrendering these foundational beliefs in separate identity, separate volition, the perceived control over events, or the trajectory of the character, the foundational belief in physical cause and effect, which seems like a big ask, but when you start offering it up, it does start falling apart. I think that's a nice reflection to let us know we're on our way, and whenever we're lost, we can just knock on a door and admit it, and ask to see what is real. Surrender whatever it is we're holding up to keep ourselves lost, and ask to see what is real. So wishing you well today, and thanks for listening.